All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Sunday evening. Another edition of KnicksFanTV's Knicks Weekly, presented by Manscaped, episode 122. CP the franchise here. We got Stephon Marbury on the way. On today's show, we are going to talk about how these New York Knicks survive without their captain, Jalen Brunson. As we know, this was not a great week for the New York Knicks. They go 0-3 on the campaign, and they lose the captain, Jalen Brunson, to a debilitating sprained ankle. And then they would go on to lose to the Lakers and the Clippers in the LA two-step. So we're going to talk about it, man. Lock in, hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it, man. Salute, salute, salute. All right, man. Salute to the family. Sunday night, Knicks Weekly. Got my energy up. You know, daylight savings time. We spring ahead. Beautiful day out here in New York. Going to be a beautiful week weather-wise. So we're feeling good, man. It's feeling good. It's a good start to the week for KnicksFanTV, but not so much for the Knicks. But we're going to get into that. We got Starberry coming through on the way at some point. Salute to everybody in the chat, all of our franchise channel members. I see you guys. John Talento, always in here. Courtney J. KG's not a franchise channel member, but he's always in here. Shout out to Lash, Flizzy Flex, Junie Karoma, always in here. Eric L. Beats, always in here. KFTV's resident DJ. Travis Ware, I am Gotham. Salute. How we feeling today, man? You know, as with the Knicks out west, the extra day of rest for the Knicks is like an extra day to kind of get over all the losing and the drama and the bad news that has been surrounding this team. Earlier this week, they lost to Golden State, lost a tough one to Golden State. I was at the game. Certainly hated how it went and how it ended. The Knicks' three-point defense getting taken to task, Steph Curry being Steph Curry, and the Knicks just not able to mount up enough offense there in crunch time. The Warriors going on an 11-0 run in crunch time in the fourth quarter to get the Knicks up out of there. They were down by 1 point with OG at the line. He misses a free throw, and after that, Golden State just runs it up on the Knicks. So that's how that went. You go to the Laker game, they're up by double digits as much in this game. They're looking great, clicking on all cylinders. The dog is looking good. Jalen is Jalen. The captain is killing in Hollywood. They're keeping Luka at bay. LeBron is LeBron, and everything is clicking until the fourth quarter run by the Lakers starts turning things around. And before you know it, the Knicks are in a crunch time dogfight, fighting for their basketball lives. And ultimately, they would lose the captain to the ankle injury and ultimately lose that game. I mean, the worst way to lose. The absolute worst way to lose. The Clipper game, I thought the Clipper game was a winnable game, even though it's the second night of a back-to-back. You had all the emotions of losing the captain, but I thought the Knicks gave it a valiant effort. Josh Hart, good one. Mikal Bridges, I thought had a good night with his 22 points. Josh Hart, 20 rebounds. Yes, he played 46 minutes, played a lot of minutes. But I thought it was a winnable game. They just couldn't find the crunch time scoring that they had with Jalen Brunson. And that's where the captain is missing. And I did think in the second half, dead legs took over, in which they could not hit shots. The Clippers were able to get after it in terms of the second chance opportunities and the offensive rebounds. I mean, he gave up 12 rebounds to Bogdan Bogdanovic. That's all you need to know about the Knicks' energy and hustle in that second half of the game. So they lose that one. So now they're 0-3 on this West Coast trip. They're in Sacramento on Monday. And the question is, how do they right this thing, steer this thing? As I've said on the postgame show, I think this team still has enough. They have more than enough to win games on most nights. When you look at the Tankathon, the strength of the schedule, they're in a decent spot. They've gotten past the more grueling matchups. Yes, they play Boston in April. That game's not going to matter. Who knows if they even who Boston even brings to the dance. And the way Boston's depth is, they still might beat the Knicks. But at the end of the day, there's still plenty of games here that the Knicks can win if they're able to do a couple of things. Number one, they've got to figure out the point guard situation. They've got to figure out how to get consistent playmaking out of this lineup. Now, Tyler Kolek, as some of you know, some of you may not know, Tyler Kolek is on his way to Sacramento. He should be there already. I think that'll give the Knicks much-needed point guard depth. How much is he going to play? We will see. But I think that will help. But starting with the starting five, it comes down to I think they've still got to continue to play through Karl-Anthony Towns. They have a favorable matchup against Sacramento. They will have a favorable matchup against the Portland Trailblazers, where Towns should be able to operate against those opposing bigs. You know, Sabonis isn't a marquee defender. He should be able to, dominate in the post, dominate as a shooter, but also I want to see some more playmaking from Towns. Playmaking out of the post, guys cutting off of his post moves and being able to generate some easier offense there. Josh Hart is also going to be your other playmaker. In transition, off of the live rebounds, off of steals, defense to offense, that's Josh Hart's calling card. It's going to be tougher in the half court, where sometimes he can muddy up the offense, but certainly when they play with a bit more pace, Josh Hart is a more than capable playmaker. So I think those two guys. On a tertiary standpoint, I'll go with Mikal Bridges. You know, not really going to be that playmaker, but we don't necessarily need Mikal to be that guy. Let's go out there and score. We got to make up for Jalen's the void from with Jalen Brunson's loss. And Mikal Bridges, we need him to be out there scoring. So now the issue is at the point. I thought they were going to go with Campaign to start, but Tibbs is opting to start with Deuce. And Tibbs, in his press conference yesterday or today, mentioned the fact that, you know, Deuce has done this before. He's played in this role before. So it looks like this is what it's going to be going forward. Looks like they're going to continue to start Deuce McBride in the point guard spot. I think that gets a little tricky, man, because Deuce he's not a point. He's an off-ball guard. And so I don't think coming out the gates, Tibbs should be playing these guys to their strengths, but putting Deuce at the one on the ball, I don't see it. I just don't see it. I think he needs to be out there playing alongside another guard, and then you can get Deuce his shots, his three-point shots, where he's best. But to rely on Deuce to generate offense and facilitate for others, I think that's going to get a little bit tricky. Not to say that Campaign is going to be, you know, Chris Paul out there, but in that spot, I would rather Campaign be running with those guys, because I think he'll just be a bit more mindful that he shouldn't just be out there chucking, that he's got to get Towns involved, he's got to get Bridges, he's got to get OG the Rock. I think I would go that way. Then you bring Deuce off the bench with Kolek. You bring Deuce off the bench with Kolek, you have Precious, you have Mitch. That's your 9-man unit right there. You have Kolek running and gunning. You can get him and Mitch with the Gotham lobs. You get the lob threat going. Then, boom, you got Deuce on the wings, ready to fire, rise and fire. That's how I think this team should be doing it. That's how I think they should be doing it. But Deuce at the one, it's just a little bit, it can get a little bit dicey, man. What do you guys think in the chat? You can call me up on the KFTV Discord. Let me know what you think. Well, that's how it would go. I would run Payne with the ones, with Mikal, with OG, with Hart, and with Towns. And then second unit, Kolek, Deuce, Precious, Mitch. Kolek, Deuce, and Mitch for your immediate first 8. And then you bring in Precious. Because with Kolek, he can shoot the 3. Deuce can shoot the 3. Kolek can push the pace, which I think is very important for this team. You know, I'm watching I'm watching Boston yesterday. I'm watching Cleveland tonight. I mean, Cleveland's they're in the fourth quarter with the Milwaukee Bucks. Cleveland Cavaliers have put up 43 threes. 40%. You already know Boston, that's they can do that in a quarter. So, I think the Knicks need to pick up the pace a little bit here and try to generate some better threes, because without Jalen, you don't have enough spot-up shooting, especially from three. And in the half court, it's going to be even harder if you're not getting enough ball handling and enough ball movement to generate rhythm threes. So it's a little bit tricky, man. Like, I think the three-point issue is a product of the personnel. But I also think from a Tibbs standpoint, like, if he tries to get these guys moving a little bit faster, they can help increase those attempts. And then another way they can increase those attempts, as I mentioned on Friday, defense to offense. Generate those turnovers, get out in transition, and get either easier buckets or get some good threes. Then you can find OG as a trailer. You can find Mikal pulling up. You can find Deuce. You can find Cat. Because Cat right now, it just seems like his area of strength right now is going to be in his spot-up shooting, in his pull-up shooting. So I think that's where we would go. But you know what? I'm going to bring in a guy. We'll talk to this guy, man. We'll ask him about it. We're going to talk to Mr. Stephon Marbury and get him in the building.
I'm in.
And see what he thinks here. Steph, all right, hang on, Steph. Hang on. Yeah, I can hear you. Let me get my video on the Zoom. Salute to everybody in the chat. CP the franchise here. Let's just rearrange the furniture a little bit. Let me get Steph in the mix. Okay. Let me get Steph in here. Hang on, Steph. Let me close this.
Did I turn horizontal?
Yeah, if you can, yeah. Turn horizontal if you can. Let me close some of these things. I got like a picture-in-picture thing going on in my situation here. Hang on one second, bro. Who's everybody in the chat, man? Who's fixing up the furniture here? Let's get Steph in there. Okay, turn that off. Let me get that off. You flipping your camera, right?
I am.
Okay. Do it. Okay, got you now. All right. So let me get that there, and we are good. Boom. In the building, in the whip. We got Stephon Marbury in the building, ladies and gentlemen. What's good, bro? How you feeling, man?
I'm chilling, my brother. Just chilling at my mom's crib.
Yeah.
Relaxing.
Yeah. Sunday night, man.
It's Sunday, so I don't want to make too much noise in the crib. My mom's 83.
Nah, I feel you, man. I feel you, man. So yeah, now we in here chopping it up with the topic being how this team survives without the captain, man. The captain, Jalen Brunson, going down. I mean, how were you feeling, man, when you saw him go down with that ankle in L.A.,
Not
man?
Not good. I'm feeling exactly like how every other New York Knicks fan is feeling right now, but it's all right. This is a great opportunity because we're not in a position where we can't make the playoffs, or we need to win 5 games to make the playoffs, or if we don't do this, or if that. So we have the luxury of being able to see our captain go down, but also still we went out and played against the Lakers, and we took them. I mean, the next game against the Clippers, we fought. Right? Before
Yeah.
the Lakers, we finished fighting them for, a minute and 30 seconds. We had to fight against them. We couldn't really pull it off. We almost had them. We needed somebody to step up to make a big shot. But now, we guys are familiar with them being on the court without him. So they've made the adjustment. They're pros. And I believe that they'll start playing so good together that when Jalen comes, they'll just get right back into the mix. They just got to get their confidence as a group, playing with each other, getting familiar with, I'm gonna take the shot, or we're gonna get the basketball to Cat. We gotta run the basketball through Cat, or we gotta get the ball to OG. OG's been hot. You know what I'm saying? How do we get him the basketball? Those guys have to figure it out. Because I heard somebody talking about, we need to run plays for. That game is over with. That game is pass, cut, set, screen, pick and roll. 3-point shot, pull up threes. There's no, yeah, you run plays, you run set plays out of ATOs. You want to
Yeah.
run ATOs to get a guy shot,
Yeah.
but
ATOs
with some
after timeout.
misdirections, yeah, after
ATOs after
timeouts,
timeout.
right? So, but at the end of the day, when you look at our team, you got to look at what this does for us as far as our confidence and what it could do for other guys and them stepping up and having the opportunity. Because there's no, oh, Jalen has the basketball, or oh, we need to run something for Mikal, or we need to get Cat. Now it's the opportunity for everybody to step up, and these are the times when guys get the opportunity to make some real bread. They come in and step in and fill in the spot, and then they go out and they play well, and then they create an opportunity for themselves to be able to say, "Hey, hey, 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 hey,
Well,
hey." When the captain went down, this is what I did.
yeah. Well, look, I think the person who I look to next is Carl Anthony Towns. We had two All Stars this year, man. So
100%.
so so he's not moving all that well. I don't know if the knee tendinopathy is flaring up
Of
on him.
course, of course.
So
This
how does
is
he
when it
go out there
happens.
and dominate? How do we get him back to dominance?
Okay. All right. I'll put it like this. I'll go in reverse. When I got older, I started to have elements inside of my body that my knee, my hamstring, so I had to play smarter. He's a younger player than I am. When I'm playing in my 40, 41 years old playing, it's hard. It's not easy playing at that age. So for him, he has to be. What I did was I started to pick spots. So he got to go to the areas where he knows that he can score, where he's comfortable, where he doesn't have to work as hard, right? Until he knows that he's healthier to be able to do all of the things that he was normally doing. Because yeah, he shows tendencies of his knee bothering him. He doesn't have the same amount of lift. It's normal. Everyone has tendonitis. Everyone's body is messed up. Everybody is growing through the same process. It's who's going to be able to sustain and be
Endure,
consistent and endure,
endurance.
right? And for that period, and that comes into who trained the way how they were supposed to train in the summertime, the off season.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? As far as like when people talk about Tibbs and about how he, runs guys into, I'm like, hold up, hold up. Dudes is getting bags. That's first. Okay, it's their job. Second, if you already know the level of play that you have to play at, you don't come to practice not ready. Like when
Mm-mm.
Pat Riley was coaching with the Knicks, dudes didn't come. They already knew what kind of shape they
Yeah,
needed
you
to
got to
be
be
in
fit.
before they got there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you sign up for it. You feel me?
Yeah.
You sign up for it. So what we need to do is, and we need to, because it's easy for people to, like I said, distractions is real. I'm a real fan. Like I'm a real Knicks fan, so I speak on it for real. Like we can't let people and no, we everything is not going to be Knicks, Knicks, Knicks. But when we're playing well, you got to say we're playing well. When we're not playing well, we got to sit down and we got to take it, and we do. You feel me? Like
Mm-hmm.
what are we gonna do right now? How are we gonna handle this with Jalen going down? Everyone wants to know, but all of the guys who should be like, shh, right here, this is how we gonna do that. Dude should be like, this is what's up right here, right? Payne should be like, this is what's up right here, right? Everybody should be like, the level of thinking should be opportunity is knocking. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about who's gonna do what. It's everyone has the opportunity. So collectively as a group, right? And we showed some flashes of it, like with us, with our resilience and how we played in the last game. We didn't just give up. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
Jalen isn't playing, even though, you know, him not playing has a big impact because he dominates the basketball for us. And he creates and he controls and he makes big shots. And he does all of the things that is needed. But now a role needs to be fulfilled with which guys who back him up, they're now going to have that opportunity. And as a pro, they have to be ready to fulfill their duties to do what needs to be done in order for us to keep going where we need to go. Like at least allow us to be able to sustain.
Mm-hmm.
500 is good on a road trip. That's not bad. I mean, we got 5 games. I mean, we go two. If we could win 3, great. If we could get 2 with the captain out, beautiful.
CB the franchise. We got Stephon Marbury in the building. Knicks Weekly, episode 122. Throw a number 3 in the chat to salute Starberry,
Love.
man. And if you want to call us up on the Discord, man. If you want to talk to Starberry, call us up on the Discord because you ain't getting this nowhere else. Now, you talked about Deuce, man. Deuce gets thrown into the starting point guard situation, and it looks like Tibbs is going to stick with that going forward. Now, to me, Deuce's strength has been more in the two guard spot, playing off ball, being as a shooter is his primary strength. What do you see as the biggest adjustment here for Deuce running with the starting 5?
Deuce needs to be aggressive. That's what Deuce needs to. What he need to do. You need to let Deuce play the way how Deuce plays, right? Let him be aggressive. Let him play that style Jalen plays, but different because it is different. But don't lose our temperament because that's our team. At the end of the day, we're not gonna construct. Just because Jalen went down, we still got guys who can fill it up at the guard position, create. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be the same. Obviously, the Jalen's an all-star. But at the end of the day, when you got a guy like Deuce who can score, you got Payne who can score. Those guys can create energy, and you play through Cat, and you got Cat, and you got 2 guys who you can play through, right? And you know what Josh is gonna do? He's gonna push. Those guys can get out into the wings, and they guys can fill. You know what I'm saying? Instead
Mm-hmm.
of running for, and I mean Bridges as well. Instead of running out for corner threes, we can start running for some layups, right? Because when you run for corner threes, you keep the court space for
Space, yep.
Jalen,
Yeah.
right? But if you go for layups and then you cross now, you know organically we keep the court space because he open. If boom, we kick it to the corner. If they help, it's a 3.
Mm-hmm.
You got what I'm saying? But now we don't have that. So now we could play different when we play fast. When we play faster because now we can headman the
Yeah.
basketball up, get the basketball up, get the ball below the free throw line. All of the defense comes down. Boom, now Deuce. If he headman the basketball, now he get walk up 3-point shots.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So we could play a little bit different in those areas, but not too much different because the ball it was moving and it's moving. If it's moving, because you know, we don't have that person
The
that
engine.
can really do what Jalen was doing. We could do that.
Deuce talked about, and I agree with you in terms of them playing fast and playing with a bit more pace. Deuce talked about the offensive struggles when they go up against a switching defense. What do you think their counter should be when they go up against those teams that are switching on everything on them?
When they switch, we're big on the small.
He just mentioned, see, like a lot of teams will switch on the Knicks on all pick and rolls. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Especially if they
if
have
it,
like a lot of wing versatility.
you run 1-3 pick and roll if they switch with OG and then put the ball in the post, space, 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 and let OG
Mm,
work. I mean, you
mm,
could you could literally mix in old school style basketball because OG is such a big body. When OG is on a court, if he starts walking people down like Carmelo Anthony did
mm.
with Deuce, we create that mismatch. That's the mismatch we want, right? That
Mm.
slow walk-in pick and roll. We can slow the game down as well. We don't gotta always play fast. We can play slow. We can slow it down too, and then that allows our defense to get more aggressive, right? We score a lot of points. We don't have a guy who scores 30 to 50 points.
Yeah,
Okay, you
yeah,
take that out. Okay, he draws at least 10 to 15 points, right? Just saying 5 to 7, 8 assists. If you get 5 dimes, I'm not even adding if it's a 3-pointer or if it's a 2. I'm just saying.
mm.
You got what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So now you got a guy who draws all of this. So now you take all of that attention away, and that's consistent. Okay, so how you gonna create something else? You gotta see that you gotta play a little bit different. Like the strategy of how you gonna hoop is gonna be a little bit different. I'm sure Tibbs is making adjustments. I mean, every coach can see it. It's
mm.
hard. It's not easy when you lose somebody like that. That's not an easy job to do and figure out. When you just go and tell your guys, okay, guys, you gotta step up. Yeah, of course, we gotta step up. the guy who's been doing what he's been doing, you know what I'm saying, he goes down, that creates a problem. But in the mind, guys have the ability to step up to do it. It's how they gonna do it.
Yeah, 100%. And speaking of step up, I did like Mikal Bridges' game against the Clippers.
Me too.
It seemed like whenever either Josh goes down, Jalen or Towns, Bridges, he adjusts. He switches up his role. He gets more aggressive. They're going to need that going forward without the captain. I like how he played against the Clippers.
I mean, look, his mid-range games, the lost art, he got the art. He's doing that. From the corner to the fadeaway in the middle of the paint, laying on the table. That's a hard shot, dude.
Mm.
You got to practice that, and you got to be core strong, balance, all of that. It got to be official. That right there, I want to see him doing more of that. Like it like the three ball is great. Like and sometimes you could get lost in it, and that's style and rhythm of the game now, and that's cool. But his three, like I want him to see him put more, like even if sometimes he may take a bad shot, but out of his creativity and him doing that, that builds his confidence. That's how he stayed on when they played against Boston in the first game. In the second half, he didn't
Second half.
stop, and then he built on that. He built on that because he wasn't doing nothing. Everybody was like, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's the first time we watching him."
Yeah.
But real hoopers know, come on, it's the first game, it's the first half. It's gonna be like that. Everybody's not gonna play well the first game. But you can see that he's still built on it. We need that energy from him. But but when he was with his other team, when he's playing with the Nets, him in that mind frame, like when he was leading them in scoring, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that mind frame, because if he stay aggressive like that, it's always in go mode. It's like I'm open, I'm going.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like that's what I do. Like you do what you do. When I'm open, that's what I do.
100%. So
Yeah.
to everybody in the chat, once again, CP the franchise, Stephon Marbury in the building. Knicks will be taking on the Sacramento Kings on Monday, Portland Trailblazers on Wednesday, and then a rematch against the Golden State Warriors on Friday. How about Mitchell Robinson, man? Mitchell Robinson coming back. Didn't play against the Clippers. They're pacing him slowly. Didn't play the
Must.
back-to-back, which I like, but he'll be back
Must.
against Sacramento. I've liked Mitch's minutes so far in the limited minutes that he's played since he's been back, man.
I mean, he just does the things that you need to be done when you need them to be done at that position. He dives, he blocks shots, he rebounds, he outlets. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him be a little bit more aggressive. I think with his body and the way how the game has changed, I think he could be a little bit more nasty down there, be a little bit more physical. Where he has more of a presence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where he really could just basically say, okay, I'm not one of the bigs that normally play right now as far as the typical style and how the game is being played right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to be old school style nasty in here, like watch Oakley tapes and see, and you know what I'm saying? Like watch Terry Cummings, like go into a different
Mm.
space to create a character in the game. Like I ain't shooting threes, but I'm doing that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I mean, Draymond Green, he makes 3-point shots, but he does so many. I was watching the game. My brother was telling me, he
Mm,
was like, "Yo, he's so smart when he plays." Because
mm,
I watched him, but I never really paid attention to him until my brother was like, when he plays on the court, the little things that he does. He's aggravating.
mm-hmm,
He's annoying. He's everything. He's talking. He does everything on the basketball court, along with off the court, the same style. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like it or love it, it's a style,
Yeah.
and it's his. You know what I'm saying? Like I want Mitch to be able to create that because he got one. I don't even. Sometimes I'm saying like I don't know if he going to strangle alligators or if he about to go who word up. He looked like he one of them dudes that he'd be like, yo, I'm about to try that
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
long straw in his with a long straw in his mouth with a
With
hat.
some tumbleweed.
Word for real. I don't know. He just the way he be making some of the sounds when he be talking, when he be, cracking jokes or whatever he be doing. I'll be checking him like, oh, so you really a character.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
I got it. I got it. But for me, I when I look at our team, I'm like, All right, cool. Mitch come back. All right, big cat. He's hurt. So cat happy's a big body coming back, but you can't be too happy because that 25 and 15 is needed.
Needed.
We
It's
need
needed, man.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%, man. Definitely
We
needed.
need that.
You know, a lot of Tibbs is saying, look, I'm not resting nobody. Like we going, we going. Business as usual.
We gotta go.
They sitting in the third seed. Looks like the Bucks about to lose to the Cavs right now. So I think the Knicks might be like 4.5 up on the Bucks, who sit in the fourth seed.
Bruh,
How
we
do you
gotta
play?
go. We get a little cushion. You get a little cushion until the burner come back. But you gotta remember, he comes back 2 weeks. That's no running,
Mm,
no playing. 2 weeks and the NBA out. That's a long time no
mm,
running.
mm,
Yeah, you get to rest your body, you get to rest your legs, but sometimes playing when you got the aches and the pains, it's a lot easier to play with that
mm.
opposed to when you get off and you think you got rest and them aches and pains, because then now them aches and pains, it's like they settle in and they
Settle in.
creep up and they get even stronger. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
But when you running and you playing, once you start playing and you running, by the third, fourth quarter, I mean, if you ain't locked in by the, you know what I'm saying, by the second quarter, you know what I'm saying,
mm-hmm.
something is wrong. But normally you loosen up by then, and you can, you play the game. It's after. So Jay gotta basically wait 2 weeks. He gotta get back on the court to get his legs and all of that going, which it won't take him long because
Mm,
he's in great shape. But still, it's gonna take some timing, right?
mm-hmm.
Hey, he got to take some cut. He got to cut hard as hell, left and right. All his moves is herky jerky. So now you got to think about how his foot always doing this the whole time when he's
Yeah, yeah,
running up and down the court.
yeah,
He's not a guy that's jumping up and down, so there's no impact on his knees or his hip or his back. It's all like this type of motion. You know what I'm saying? So
mm-hmm.
it's his feet. If you look at any type of video of him, if they go slow motion and you watch his feet, it's all different kind of
Always
ways.
cutting, yeah. Always cutting
Yeah,
up.
so he got to get special tape jobs, which he will. He's gonna have a dope
Yeah.
special tape job for his ankle, but still, even that is like, you can have the most sophisticated style tape job. It's still like it's sore. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be weak. So it's gonna take some time to build up. So that's 4 weeks I look at. But I'm not saying that he still can't thug it and play,
Mm.
but I'm thinking about him running on his ankle while that's going on.
Yeah.
So now we got another challenge because now we gotta monitor that.
Right, right. Make sure you don't sprain it again, right? Because you could re-sprain it.
Bang.
There you go.
So, we got to monitor. We got a little cushion with the fourth spot.
Mm.
I mean, we're 4 games, 4.5 up on Milwaukee. So we gotta
Yeah.
watch Milwaukee and we gotta watch everybody coming.
The other roommate, Josh Hart, shout out to him, 20 rebounds in that game against the Clippers. When he's playing fast, I love it. He's grabbing and going, either off of turnovers, off the live rebounds. He's creating. That's his best opportunity to score. When he's getting those layups, he's running into the body and playing physical and getting those layups up. Then in the half court, you see at times the tentativeness. They got the opposing five staying off them. They're daring them to shoot the three. What's that adjustment there for Hart, man? Like, what does he need to do to keep that offense flowing, even when they're in the half court?
I'm gonna tell you like this. He's a bull, right? You give a bull a running start, you better be careful. You better make sure you know which one you going. You know what I'm saying? You better make sure, right? So as soon as he catch, if they back up off him, he gotta attack, or he gotta pull it. Because I like when Josh. To be honest, I feel more comfortable when Josh shoot threes when the shot clock going down.
The late shot
I
clock.
like
Yeah,
when he shoots shot clock. I'm like, oh yeah, this is cash. When he look. I don't like when he catch
nah,
and look. I
nah,
like when
nah.
he catch and just shoot.
Yeah, yeah.
When he catch and he shoot, his shot is nice. When he catch and he think and then he about to make a move
Nah,
and then he shoot a three,
it's not
I feel
happening.
like we could work on that. We could get that. We could
Mm-hmm.
get that in there. We could put that in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that can be added. And that's something that he's capable of doing, right? But his strength is When he catch and he go. When he catch the ball that's what I'm saying. In transition, even when Jalen's playing, when he catch the basketball and Josh is out, the first person you should be trying to get him the basketball. Cause that's when he gonna
Yeah.
score. He gonna be super aggressive. He's like a
Yeah.
bowling ball, man.
And get to the free throw line because they don't
And
got a
he
lot of
gets
guys
it,
who get to the free
and
throw
he
line.
make his free throws.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He make his free throws. So I wanna see Josh stay in when he's in transition. I would rather him shoot the basketball than get a turnover. Like I'd rather him just go to the basket and because when he go up, he's always near the basket.
Yeah.
He's not like shooting like floaters or
Mm-hmm.
like shots like Kyrie. He's like near the hoop. You know what I'm saying? So that close near the hoop, it's like that's a high percentage shot.
Yeah.
Opposed of when he go down and then he stop and then he try to pass to somebody. I know I don't I love when he played north, right? When he's going north and
Mm-hmm.
south. When he
Mm-hmm.
go east and west, that or in transition, straight to the hoop, dude.
Straight
Straight
to
to
it.
the basket.
Straight to
Like
it.
rules. Like
Yep.
straight rules, straight to the hoop.
Yep. Good points by you, man. So, 3 more games out west. What you gonna be doing this week, man? They not at the Garden, man. What you up to this week, man?
uh yeah, you can take this. I'm on doing the live right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, take your stuff right there. Oh, it's your cigarette right there. So, oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, all good, man.
Um, man, when I'm going back. I'm going back home. I'm going back home to China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going back for a couple of weeks. But when there's no games, it's like, oh my God, especially
Yeah.
when we on the road and we lose. It's hard. It's hard. It's like I know how people feel. So, and I think everybody, all of the fans, when we go anywhere and they walk in they see us, they be looking at us like, hey,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
what
man.
happened to Jalen? You know what happened. Why you asking me what happened?
Yeah.
Yo, how long Jalen gonna be out?
Yeah.
Yo,
We
yeah,
we down
yeah,
bad, man.
yo. You asking me these crumb questions, yo. These some crumb questions, yo. These are crumb questions. That's all these are. These are crumb questions.
Yeah, we down bad without the captain, man.
Oh my God.
Last
It's
one
all
for
right.
you here. I'm showing. I sent you this picture because today's March 9th, man. Rest in peace to the late great Notorious, man. We lost the legend Biggie Smalls on today, and I found
Yes.
this picture of you, man. You, Sham God, and the Notorious B.I.G. And you said this was at the tunnel. This was at the
Yeah, it
tunnel.
was a tunnel.
Yeah, you remember anything about that? About the Notorious B.I.G. man?
Hey, I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it at the tunnel, baby. I'm leaving it at the tunnel. All I'm gonna say is this.
Yeah.
I think Pac, Big, Sean, Combs, um, I think Nas, um, and there was like maybe like three or four other high high octane dudes
Yeah.
that were there that night.
That night.
And
Pac was there
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And I never forget the next day I was going to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to Hawaii the next day and I almost missed my flight and I saw Pac. I saw Pac inside of the airport
Mm-hmm.
going to LA.
Uh-huh.
He was like, yo, shorty, I saw you last night. Word up. Word.
legendary
Because
tunnel days,
I don't
man.
think, so many people be asking me about stories. I'll be like, I don't even remember. When
Yeah,
Shan pulled that picture out, I forgot.
yeah. It's a
And I
long
was
time, man.
like, and he was like, yo, you don't remember this? I'm like, yo, I'm done. I don't. I mean, Matt, and the crazy thing is because you don't even realize how many pictures you take,
Yeah,
how many videos you do, like over the course of your life,
yeah.
because you're constantly doing it over and over. And
True,
especially for me growing up in New York,
true.
playing basketball for the school that I play for, I try to tell people, I'm like, my school was famous before I was born, man. Chill out.
Mm.
I'm like, I just added to the pot. That's it.
True,
You know
true,
what I'm saying?
true. Just add it
Coming
to
from
that
Abraham
chapter in the
Lincoln.
book. Just added a chapter in
It's
the
just
book.
another added chapter, part of the.
Yeah,
So for me, growing up in New York and then like doing all of the stuff that I did from advertisements, and so when I'm like in New York and I hear people talk about like what we did back in the days, I'm like blown away, like, cause it was so much.
yeah,
From
yeah.
citywide biddies, from Kingdom, Rucker. Like I forgot. Like dudes, like yo, you play every game in the Rucker. I was like, yeah, I did go to all of the games.
All of them.
It was like, yo, you treating like it's a real season. I was like, nah, I'm here train. I
Yeah,
was training that year in New York that time.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I was like really going to the game, showing up with my bag. It was like, oh, you really here? I'm
yeah.
like, nah, I'm playing.
Different days, man.
So, when we won the championship in Rucker, after we won the championship, I took the MVP. They was like getting ready to announce MVP. I was like, man, this is mine, man. Out of here.
wait, that
Word.
was the Terror Squad team. That was the
Yes.
Terror Squad team.
Yes. Yes. I was walking in Harlem with the trophy, walking down the Ave. Word up. I was on Linux. I was on the Ave. Mad love in Harlem. I used to live up there in the
Yeah,
summertime. So I know everybody up there.
the good old days, man.
Island Dermot. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, listen, man. Safe travels back to the
All right,
Far
my man.
East. And when you get
All
back,
right.
man, let's
Love.
link, man. Let's link.
And to all of the Knicks fans, don't keep your head up, man.
Yeah,
You
don't
know what I'm
panic. Tell
saying?
them don't
Don't
panic,
ain't
man.
no
Everybody
ain't no
throwing
reason
the
to
towels
panic.
in,
We
man. Don't
good.
panic, bro.
We good. We goody. We
Yeah,
goody. Don't trip. Once it come together, we gonna form like Voltron.
let's
Chill.
go. Let's go, man. All right,
Peace.
Steph, I'll catch up with you, man. That's Stephon Marbury. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Talked a little Knicks, Talked about the good old days. Premium quality programming here at KnicksFanTV. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. You're not getting it anywhere else. Talking about the legendary Biggie Smalls, the Tunnel Nights. That was fun, man. I had a fun time talking about that, man. Shout out to Starberry, man. Always shows KFTV love, and as he says, he's a Knicks fan. Yeah, I rock with Steph heavy, man. So to everybody in the chat. So we here. So before I wrap up today's show, as we know, the Knicks are finishing up in Golden State this week, and we got to get to worst take, man. We got to get to worst take. I've been holding this in. People have been asking me, CP, you got to comment on this. You got to comment on this. So let's get to it, man. Let's rip the Band-Aid off and get to it. This is once again Worst Take, the segment where we react to Knicks takes around the NBA podcast sphere, for better or for worse. And so on today's segment of Worst Take, we're going to talk about this clown, Draymond Green. Now, I didn't want to, but I feel like I had to. As you guys know, we were at the game on Monday, Knicks taking on the Golden State Warriors. It was announced before the game that Karl-Anthony Towns, or prior to that game, over the weekend, Karl-Anthony Towns was going to miss the game due to personal reasons. And you guys remember, back at that point, everybody's fishing, and what's going on with Karl? What's going on with Karl? And I'm just like, yo, it's personal reasons. Let him deal with what he needs to deal with. Okay? Now, what ends up coming out is that a friend in the family, I believe it was a friend of his girlfriend's, had passed away due to cancer. So he missed the game, and everybody wished him well. Now, what ends up happening is Draymond Green takes it upon himself to fabricate his own story on what happened here. So I'm going to play this clip reluctantly, but I got some stuff to say about it anyway, man. So I'm going to play this clip. This is from the Draymond Green Baron Davis show. This is Draymond Green on Karl Anthony Towns. Here it is. Let's listen to it. Here we go.
For us, and obviously they ain't had Cat. You know, some would say he didn't play because Jimmy was in the building. I don't know.
It's like that.
You know, I'll tell you what, though, I saw Cat Pops yesterday at the game, and it's always love. I got mad love for the OG. His Pops is an incredible man. But yeah, they said Cat ain't play because Jimmy came into town, and you know him and Jimmy had the infamous practice in Minnesota.
Oh yeah.
And so
What?
That's the thing. I don't know.
That's a conspiracy theory says he was hurt.
I don't know what was hurt.
I
didn't look that deep into it to figure out like what his injury was or nothing like that, bro. You know,
shit like that shit like that.
All right, so anyway, enough of the babbling between these two, all right? You know, BD looks stoned. He's like, what? Whoa, conspiracy theory? All right, whatever. But here's the thing, right? Draymond Green claims that he saw Carl Sr. at the Garden. You didn't ask him what's up with Junior? Where's he at? You don't think Carl Sr. would have said, oh, Junior's not here because X, Y, and Z? So something's not adding up with that. Either he already knew or he didn't talk to Carl Sr. at all. Maybe he just waved hello. Or maybe they're not even that tight. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get the news from Carl Sr. at that moment about where his son was at or why he was missing the game? The math ain't math in there. But anyway, so he took it upon himself to make up a complete garbage bullshit story about Karl Anthony Towns' whereabouts. Okay? So there is number one. Video number one. Okay? Now, the Golden State Warriors go and play the Brooklyn Nets on Wednesday. When it was already revealed, everything blew over. Everybody on Twitter is blowing this guy up. They're ripping this guy for making this up and lying on Towns' name. So you would think that any real man would hold himself accountable and say, you know what? I was wrong. Apologies and condolences. But instead, this is what we got from this clown. Here we go again.
You seen your reaction today to your comments about Cat?
No.
And are you aware of what the circumstances were?
No. What's the circumstance?
Apparently he said he was at a funeral for a family friend.
Oh, man, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. But my comments that I made was, what I heard was this. And that's what I heard. So I do, send my well wishes to him and his family. You know, none of us, it's inevitable. We all experience death in one way or another, and we'll all experience it in the same way one day. So it's unfortunate. You never wish that on anybody, but the Draymond Green show with Baron Davis must go on.
So, and you could tell by the way he got defensive with the, oh, what? Oh, I didn't know. He knew exactly what had happened at that time. His mentions were blowing up. He probably got about 3,000 tweets going at him for being a complete clown. But instead of being a real man and hold himself accountable and say, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. That was in poor taste. What he decided to say was, I didn't know. People die every day, B. And the Baron Davis, the Draymond Green and Baron Davis show must go on. Like anybody gives a shit about that show. Your show is hot garbage, bro. Hot garbage. So the idea that, like, He's so above this or above apologizing to the guy, holding himself accountable. And that his show must go on. Give me a break, man. This is the type of buffoonery that we now have in today's social media, watch me day and age. There's no characters. There's no moral compass. Everybody has to go lower and lower and lower to generate a reaction and stand on it. A complete clown show. Complete clown show. Desperate for clicks. And remember, this was the guy, Mr. New Media, talking about, oh, all the media's out there's after the clickbait and nobody's covering the sport because I'm the smart guy. I got 4 rings. And what does he do? Jumps in the shitter with everybody else. What are you bringing to the table, Mr. New Media, that nobody else is bringing? Absolutely nothing. This is the same guy that the suits at TNT thought it was such a brilliant idea. Let's bring this guy on our telecast to go along with the player wave so we can spice things up a bit. The guy comes on several times on TNT and gives you absolutely nothing. All he gets is his respect because he's got rings, he's a genius, he's this, that, and the third. Who cares if he's talking nonsense and gibberish every single time he gets on a mic? The best thing about TNT losing the NBA is that we don't have to hear from a clown like this anymore. And if any one of these new networks from NBC to Amazon all on down had any sense, they wouldn't bring him anywhere near studio set. I can name 10 NBA players who don't even got rings that can break down the game in a more intellectual way than this guy. Complete clown show. All he stands on is, I got rings, I know more about the game than you, and he doesn't even show it. All he does is show that he has no character and that he's a complete buffoon. He better hope that all that LeBron bootlicking carries him past his playing career. Absolute nonsense, man. Absolute nonsense. And then on top of that, here is Chris Broussard, whose career is already going down the tubes. This was Chris Broussard the next day.
Behind you. Because there's a rumor out there.
Oh.
Draymond said it on his podcast.
What is it?
You know, Cat missed the last game against Golden State. Jimmy Butler and Steph and those guys. And Draymond said the word is, now it was unspecified personal reasons. Draymond said the word is, what's out there, the scuttlebutt, that he didn't want to play against Jimmy Butler because of what Jimmy Butler did. I'm just saying, it's out there.
You know what?
Now, this is a veteran journalist talking about this is what the rumor says. It's out there. A veteran journalist couldn't take 5 minutes to do some research. Dig in with your insiders, with your sources. But he's got to entertain it up and Hollywood it up because these guys are so desperate that the facts don't even matter. Everybody is on this chatty-patty Wendy Williams wave. And it is lame. Absolutely lame. Continue to drag this guy's name through the mud like he's scared. He's scared. He's scared. Draymond Green talking about it like, oh, this is really what I heard. And we're supposed to believe that you got sense up here? We're supposed to believe that you smart? Oh, that's what I heard. I'm just going to stand on it. That's what I heard. Chris Broussard, that's what he heard. This is where we are. Clowning it up at others' expense to make ourselves look better because our programming and our brand straight up sucks. That's just the bottom line. Because if you had any credibility, you wouldn't need to stoop to these levels of buffoonery. Now, Karl Anthony Towns did say when he was interviewed by the media, he said, "Look, I'm not going to stoop to these levels. I'm going to respond with love and not hate." And you know what, at the end of the day, if that's how he wants to handle it, so be it. Take the high road. There's no need to go out there and jump in the mud with these clowns. Unbelievable, man. Shout out to Karl Anthony Towns. Rest in peace to the dearly departed. Condolences to the family, which is what all of these clowns should have said and left it at that. Unbelievable, man. And at the end of the day, no, you don't want to waste time on this. It's not really worth the time. But we got to raise our standards up here, man. This is all we're seeing in today's social climate. Everybody wants to roll in the mud. It is nasty work out here. So now I'm not going for it. Not using my platform to do that either. We're going to keep it a family show here. Shout out to Karl Anthony Towns. Knicks Nation has your back. Knicks Nation has had your back. Draymond Green is a straight-up clown. Chris Broussard is a straight-up clown. And that's just the bottom line, man. That was another episode of Worst Take. Salute to everybody in the chat. And we'll be back on Monday, man. Great show. This guy's got me tight, man. Class don't matter no more to these clowns. Salute to the replay gang. Remember that these shows are available in audio podcast format. No reason to miss it. I want to shout out one of our sponsors of the night, and that is Mando Whole Body Deodorant, fellas. 72 hours of odor control, aluminum-free, natural products. And try it out, man. And as a matter of fact, if you try it out, they will give you $5 off the starter pack at shopmando.com. Use our code KFTV for $5 off the starter pack. Shopmando.com. And the starter pack comes with a variety of the deodorants in different forms that you can try out. Solid stick, the spray, the liquid, you name it. So go out there, shopmando.com. $5 off the starter pack with code KFTV. 72 hours of odor control. Also, I want to shout out another one of our sponsors, man, and that is SeatGeek. You know, the Knicks are on the road right now, but once they return, hey, those prices are still expensive, man. So use our code KFTV10 for 10% off your tickets, up to $20 off. That's a little bit of a savings. It could go a long way, man. Get you extra something to eat, get you an extra drink or so. And that's that, man. So shout out to SeatGeek, the #1 rated ticketing app and the #1 ticketing app for KnicksFanTV. Look for the green dots. The green dots are the good to great deals, and the red dots are the bad deals. You want to stay away from those. All right? So shout out to our guys at SeatGeek. KFTV10 is the ticket. Is the code. All right? So there it is, man. Shout out to Starberry. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back Monday for the Bleacher Report simulcast. I got a special guest coming through. We'll talk more about the Knicks and Kings matchup. And there it is, man. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Like, share, and subscribe. And have a great week, everybody. We'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.